Hi, I'm Stephen and welcome to Let's Get Working. Let's talk about the email address you use to apply for jobs. Is it appropriate and could it be hurting your chances of getting the job you want? The several emails I created during high school are not the email addresses I list on my resume or use for professional communication today. They don't look professional. Some of them are embarrassing and I don't want assumptions made about me based on what my 14-year-old self thought was cool at the time. If you're too embarrassed to say your email address is allowed, that's a good indicator that you shouldn't be putting it on your resume or using it to email potential employers. The good news is that it's easy to create a professional looking email address. Keep two things in mind when creating an email address. It needs to be easy to read and write, thus making it easier for people to remember. If your email contains a string of 10 numbers at the end, that's going to be a challenge for anyone to remember. The second is people will associate whatever you use with you. Using "give me a job now" at email.com would make you sound desperate or demanding. Using "party all day and night" at email.com could make the reader wonder if you're some sort of wild party animal. Using a combination of your first name, last name, and initials, you should be able to create an email address that's easily identifiable as yours. For example, using my name, I could create several emails. stephenlast at email.com, slast at email.com, or stephen.l at email.com. With the amount of combinations you can create, there isn't any excuse for using an inappropriate email address. The question of which email domain to use comes up next. Should you use a free service such as Gmail or Hotmail, or should you pay money to have the domain of your choice? I say save your money. If you're a consultant that goes from client to client, then having that name recognition would be useful. Otherwise, as long as the name before the @ is professional, you'll be fine. Gmail or Hotmail are very common addresses, so it won't seem out of place to use either of them. You don't have to give up the email addresses you've been using up until now. In fact, it's a good idea if you don't. Keep your primary email for personal correspondence and signing up for services, and use the new email for all your professional correspondence. This way you can keep both worlds separate and you'll know the context of an email straight away based on which account receives it. There are things you should avoid using in your email addresses that go beyond inappropriate topics. Much like a resume, you don't want to include anything that would cause the reader to discriminate against you. Don't include your age or the dates of important events that could give away your age, such as a graduation date. Avoid using anything that indicates your race or background. And unless you're applying to work for a particular political or religious organization, it's best to not indicate your religious or political beliefs. These things may have no impact on your application at all, but in front of someone who is going to discriminate, they could be the thing that ruins it. Don't take that risk. An email address you create for professional purposes needs to be something you plan to have for some time, something you're not going to forget about or throw away anytime soon. This is because some companies keep your resume on file so they can contact you at a later date when they need to hire new staff. If you're unreachable at the email address you gave them, you'll miss any opportunities they have to offer. To ensure you receive emails, respond to them in a timely manner. Check your email on a regular basis. Some things won't be time sensitive, though you may not be looked upon favourably if it takes you a while to get back to them. Other things will need a quick response though, and if you don't respond to them within their time frame, the assumption will be that you weren't interested, and they'll move on to another person. For those of you resistant to the idea of having a second email address because you think it's too much of a hassle to monitor multiple accounts, well, there is a solution to that. You can set up email forwarding from your professional to your personal email. This way, you only need to check one account. Emails that are memorable, but for the wrong reasons, are what you want to avoid. For the sake of a couple of minutes setting up a new email, and the few minutes it takes to check them, you could avoid hurting your chances by using something that's inappropriate. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out our other videos. If you don't find what you're looking for and want to suggest a topic you'd like to see discussed, put them in the comments below or get in touch with me. If you found this video helpful, why not subscribe to ensure you receive more information aimed at helping you find, gain, or keep a job. Until next time, have a good week, and I hope your job search goes well.